All right, I'm going to take a look at the Mono Light team, which is a very strong team, especially offensively, but has worked really well defensively, and has kind of defined the Colo meta for quite some time. A couple different flavors of it, which we'll talk about in a little bit, but this is the standard Mono Light um, composition. A big part of why it's strong is because of Eleanor. Eleanor has this unique party buff, combined skill damage and light attack. She also has this passive where for every light party member, um, it's an additional 5% increase up to a max of 20% for a fully light team, that gets kind of slapped on top of her party buff. So you end up with a very strong hybrid party buff. And in addition, on her chain skill, she does light res down by 30%, and then a attack boost of 30%. So that combination is pretty nasty. Obviously, EarthNet can block the debuff, but it can't stop the attack buff. And so, not relying fully on debuff, but doing the combination makes it pretty solid. Um, so I have her kitted as a healer, which is totally viable, especially if you have the vending machine merch, because that translates her to heal into a team heal. I have a max limit broken X, but you don't even need to use her X. She works just fine with like a jewel basket, or anything like that. But I have her kitted at 26k heals, so she's going to throw out some serious healing on top of being a buffer and a debuffer. Just overall, really is the sort of is the reason why this team is so powerful. Um, Gab actually, Gabe is pretty strong as well. Um, I have her kitted offensively. You can build her out as a healer. That's perfectly fine. She can do either. Her crit buff is cool. Her light res down is pretty nice. And then obviously she heals and has good personal damage. So she's just a really versatile unit as well. Um, the combination then of all of the buffing and debuffing that goes on in this team, on top of Mark 99, who just has ridiculous damage output, especially if she can stay in mode 2 the whole time and actually get some like penetrating hits where she's hitting multiple units at once. Her damage goes through the roof. Like she can hit over 250k on Nox, and she can. I mean, I've seen her one shot. She's something else when she hits a crit on a buffed mode 2 shot. Um, she's range damage, which doesn't do a whole lot for the party, but really she is the damage. So yeah, she is why this team works, is because you have all of your damage coming from one unit, and then everybody else there is just playing a supporting role. Other interesting thing about this is, since as I said, Eleanor is bringing 40% skill damage. Future Princess then can abuse the Little Princess merch, which reduces damage based on skill damage. Now, Future Princess already has the ability to get skill damage up, and right now she's at 73, and I think I'm actually missing at least 10% between the accessory shield and the web. I am running skill damage cards on here, which is fine because the only party buff she's missing out on is Mark 99's. Everybody else's is also helping her. So she even has her weapon skill is actually pretty powerful. But with the 40% skill damage on top of her 73, not going to do the math, but yeah, that's a pretty hefty amount of damage reduction coming from the LP merge. So it's a one tank team, but your one tank is being propped up by that LP merge. Now, obviously, you don't need um, the sort of premium merch to make this team operate. It's still really good, especially offensively, and so that's why I'm such a proponent of, if you're going to build one team for Colo, it should be this one, or it should be one of the variants of it, because it's incredibly flexible on offense and defense. Um, this is a sort of standard defense positioning. I don't recommend doing this anymore. Too many people know how to crack it. But if you're early on, I think it's totally fine. Offensively, you end up having a bunch of different positioning options based on what you're facing. You can do kind of a straight line, depending on what the compositions look like. I'm definitely going to showcase a few of these, but this team is so strong against like half of the meta. So just taking a look at the ranking or the leaderboard right now, it does work against Mayreal teams. It's a little bit tricky to pull off. It definitely works against the Camille plus Rue teams, because if you can line up either Rue or Agma, Martin can just pierce them both and wipe them out. Yeah, see, there's a monolite defense team, and they're in rank 6, so good on you for still running it. Um, there's another one in rank 9. Uh, yeah, I mean, the majority of these teams, this light team will counter. Now it does come down to positioning in that case, because as soon as Mark 99 switches into mode 2, your strength just plummets. She is no longer hitting multiple. She's no longer, abusing crit, because it's a multi-hit, which means the crit on it is not gonna is sort of watered down. And so you end up, yeah, your primary damage source ends up either running or sort of dropping her own damage. So the whole thing then becomes, how do we keep everybody away from Mark 99, so that she gets these nice diagonal pops off on everybody else. And so that's why the different formations matter a lot, because what you're trying to do is sort of define where you want the battlefield to be, so that you can hit their back line. So you typically want to position Mark 99 diagonal across from whoever the enemy target is. Nox is an easy one because she can kind of three-shot her down. But yeah, I'll go through some battles and include those as part of this. So this is a sample formation. We're going to try to collapse the tank line right in front so that Mark 99 gets some hits, hopefully on Camille and Gab. No. But the tank line's holding, so okay, good. They're backing up. There you go. That's hitting all 4. Nice. And every time she takes a shot, you can see the enemy HPR just take a big bite. Yeah. So. Ooh, look at that lineup. Yeah, this should work really well. Yeah, this formation should work really well. Everybody in the corner. Nice. Oh, well, she moved. But it's over anyway, because their tank's dead. I thought I was going to get like okay, there we go. That's a nice lined up shot. Boom, hit a triple. That's good. This one's a little bit harder because Nox is in the center, but I just want to create the tank line in between this. No. Tank line, there it is. That worked.